When the only constant in life is change, you need to be ready. This is the Man-Made Survival Show.
Hello everybody, my name is Jose from Man-Made Survival. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Thank you for watching this video because this information is very, very important. And please share it because other people can benefit from this. It could save a life. So please like the video, share the video, leave your comments. If you have any questions, I will answer them. I'll try to help as much as possible, you know, with all the knowledge that I have. But the main thing is that this information gets out, because if people don't know, they won't be able to prepare. And, you know, the crap hits the fan train, it's just going to hit them head on. So please share this information, share it with your family, with your friends, with your co-workers, with whoever you want to. Just make this known, please. The official numbers for the coronavirus is 111,356 infected, with 3,892 dead. Out of that 100,000 number, 8,100 comes from South Korea, Italy 7,375, Iran 7,161, France 1,209, Germany 1,151, and the United States at 566. That number should be a lot higher for the United States, but the very simple reason that it's not is because they have not tested anybody. Like I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, the day we see that the numbers are going up is the day they start testing, because we know they are not. And I have video proof of that they are not doing so. Now, this report is pretty long, so I may cut it into two parts because, you know, listening to the same information over and over, it kind of gets boring, or, you know, people start losing interest. But now it's here, and now it's in your backyard, and I hope you don't lose interest and you really pay attention, because next thing you know, you'll hear New York is quarantined. You hear Seattle is quarantined. You'll hear Texas is quarantined, you know. It might be somebody near you, somebody near your house. This is not a drill. WHO urges the world to fight virus. This is from apnews.com. The UN Health Agency urged all countries to push this virus back. A call to action reinforced by dramatic surges in cases. This virus has infected 98,000 people, now over 111,000 people, killed over 3,300. It's pretty close to 4,000 now. Here's a quote. "This is not a drill. This is not the time for giving up. This is not the time for excuses. This is the time for pulling out all the stops," WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, I know I killed it, said in Geneva. Countries have been planning for these scenarios like this for decades. Now is the time to act on those plans. Now, that very line is the one that you should pay attention and your ears should perk up, because now we have in real time the ability to see how countries react. And how have we seen countries react? They quarantine people. They tell you not to go anywhere. They tell you not to panic. They tell you that everything's going to be okay. They tell you to trust the system. And the system is failing every single one of those persons. But also, not just the government is something you got to watch. It's the people as well. Because it doesn't matter if it's Singapore. It doesn't matter if it's China. It doesn't matter if it's Hong Kong. It doesn't matter if it's Italy. It doesn't matter if it's the United States. People panic. That's just a natural human behavior. When something is uncertain, you panic, and then you go buy, you know, mountains of toilet paper, and you forget about everything else. That's what it is. So you gotta watch two things: how people react and how things will eventually get bad as far as behavior goes. Because a lot of people have been behaving pretty good, and, you know, I've expected more chaos by now, and they haven't, but it's starting to creep up. Now, I just have the headlines on this too, on how countries are reacting. Moscow goes high alert, threatens 5 years in jail for breaking self-quarantine. I found it in Zero Hedge. Coronavirus, North Italy quarantined 60 million people. That's from BBC.com. Now, the next one that I have here is how people are reacting or will react and how the government is responding to it. Is from the Daily Mail. Supermarkets prepare for food riots as part of emergency plans to feed the nation as panic buying bread strips shelves faster than they can be refilled. But high stress and shopping centers are deserted. British supermarkets are prepared for food riots if panic buying becomes widespread in the worst case scenario of the corona pandemic. A retail expert has said. Former Tesco supply chain director Bruno Montani, hopefully I didn't kill it, said a major outbreak of the virus will result in a panic buying, empty shelves, and food riots, but that at this stage retailers will revert to feed the nation status to avoid anyone going hungry. It came as Boris Johnson tried to reassure Britons that he would keep the country fed and urge people to refrain from stockpiling essentials as photos circulated of empty shelves in supermarkets. Telling people not to prepare is the stupidest thing that our government can say. The stupidest. I'm not for panic buying. I'm not up for it. I mean, I don't agree with it, right? Because if things stop today, everything that you bought, for one, you're going to see that you bought the stuff you didn't need. And two, when things go back to normal, you're just going to forget all about preparedness, and then you're just going to wait until the next crisis for you to stock back up instead of making it a lifestyle. And that is very dangerous because right now people have, a month heads up that something was coming your way. Next time, it may not be. You may not have the opportunity to see ahead and say, maybe I should prepare. For example, a nuclear strike somewhere. However, despite the demand of food retailers, it was a different picture elsewhere. High streets and shopping centers were today seemed largely deserted as shoppers stayed at home, partly over concerns about catching the disease. Warehouses typically only hold 1 or 2 weeks of stocks for non-refrigerated food products and only a few days for perishable goods and bulky items like toilet paper. So panic buying would rapidly lead to shortages. Supermarkets would immediately reduce their ranges to stock only essential goods, with the army called to guard stores, food depots, and trucks, and to ensure food is distributed around the country. So very, very quickly, the army is called in because people are panic buying. All right. Now that's the first we hear of a Western country doing that. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show all the pictures and all the video that I've seen that that you're going to see with all the shelves being empty and everything else. Here's the next one. Store wars. Supermarkets start coronavirus rationing as Tesco and Waitrose limit pasta and hand sanitizer amounts customers can buy. This from the Sun. Supermarkets have started rationing products including pasta, hand sanitizer, and tinned veggies amid the coronavirus crisis. Tesco has limited customers to 5 each of items including long life milk and antibacterial products as panic buying grips the nation. The rations come into force to ensure customers are able to buy what they need, with the change starting in stores yesterday and online today. Waitrose confirmed that there were no restrictions to place in stores, but said a temporary cap had been put in place on certain products online, including some antibacterial soaps and wipes, to ensure our customers have access to the products they need. And there you go. In real time, you're seeing how people will react, how the stores are going to react, how the government's going to react they do react in a crisis. This is why you need the things you need beforehand, because they're only giving you 5 of whatever. Like I said, you need 1 gallon per person per day, right, of water. If you have enough people in your family that 5 case of water does not cover that, then you're pretty much in a bind. And I'm not saying that the tap water has stopped, because it more than likely hasn't. But if it gets to a point where nobody can run the the city water or whatever, or let's say like Flint, Michigan, then you're pretty much screwed. And Flint, Michigan has not had their or as far as I know, they have not had their issue solved. So they still depend on bottled water. So that is why, imagine if they could only buy 5 at a time. I mean, for toilet use, for cooking, for, drinking, for washing your teeth, for whatever, 5 cases is not enough. That's what I said. When you need about 2 years worth of water also, and, it sounds like a lot, it really is not. It really is not. All right, so I'm going to end this video with this headline. And I want to talk about it just a little bit. But it's really crazy how people think about people who are preparing. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents in a minute. The media vilifies preppers and those stocking up as selfish hoarders while potential quarantine looms. This from the organicprepper.com. Go read it. It's really good. It's by Daisy Luther. And it talks about, how the media is calling people selfish and stuff for buying what they need. So, panic buying versus prepping. Some folks have noted that what's going on right now as shelves get emptied across the country is not prepping, it's panic buying. While there's a little bit of truth to that, I'd still rather see people in the stores getting what they need than waiting for a handout. Over the past couple of weeks, I've hit the stores myself to replenish a stockpile that my youngest daughter has been using. I'm certainly not panicking, but I'd be a fool not to fill in some gaps. Whether you had your supplies sitting there for a year or you have just picked them up over the previous week, I commend you for making the effort to get prepared for what could possibly be a lengthy period of quarantine. I know that a lot of people in the prepping world have spoken badly of those making last-minute purchases, and I strongly condemn that. Please, if you're new, know that all of us in the prepping community are not smug and discouraging. Most of us welcome you and will love to help you any advice you may need. It is better to do this far in advance? Sure. Is it better to do this at least is it better to do this at the last minute than not at all? Also sure. For those who have waited longer than might be ideal, check out this guy for panic preppers and this guy that offers substitutes when the merchandise at the store is picked over. All right, so it's a good article. There's nothing wrong with it. And yes, I agree that at least people are going out there and getting what they need. But let's also talk about the potential danger they're giving, they're putting themselves in and their families. Because there's some people going in there with their children. And, elderly are going out there too. Now, in California, it's only been one instance, but in California, they had to call the police because people were getting pretty upset that they had run out of water and they had run out of toilet paper. So things can get dicey pretty quickly. So having those things in advance is always better than waiting for the last minute and putting everybody at risk in your family because you need your last minute supplies. Or not last minute supplies because you don't have anything. And if you're a prepper who's, just picking up the last minute supplies, then, just be smart about it. If you see that it's going to get dangerous, then you might as well just make do with what you already have at home since you've been preparing. And just whatever is left, then, you're going to have to do without eventually because eventually it's going to run out. So anyways, I wanted to end with that note. Prepping is a lifestyle. Panic buying is a waste of money because a lot of people more than likely have bought a bunch of crap that they don't need. All right, and they overlook the stuff that they do need, and then they're gonna have to make another run and spend even more money on the things that they think they need that they overlooked. So, right now, most states, you still have time to prepare. The window is closing. Mark my words. Your opportunity to finish getting prepared is closing. Do not wait till the last minute because next thing you know, you will not have that last minute. But anyways, I hope this encouraged people, not to just take this virus, serious, but also encourage you to have this prepper lifestyle in your mind now, because we had a month heads up. Next time we may not, and we have a lot of things going on around, not only in this country but around the world too. So there's a famine coming. You're gonna start getting used to seeing the shelves empty at your store. So that's something you gotta get ready for now. All right. But anyways, I hope this information was helpful. And again, please like this video. Please share this video, because this information is very important. We have seen how people react and they act, and how the governments do the same thing, and how it would be beneficial for you to have everything you need at the very end, and how preppers versus panic virus is two different things. All right. Even though people are getting what they need at the last minute, it's a good thing, sure. But it would be better if they just take on the lifestyle of a prepper and not have to worry about it next time, and just make do with what they do got. But anyways, my name is Jose Prado, Amendment Survival. Always ready.
The Man-Made Survival Show.